In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with all of you the top 3 stocks that all of you should be keeping in your watch list for this week. I'm also going to be explaining to you exactly why the move in the SPY happened the way it did. Alright, y'all, before we begin, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel, alright? So let's get started right off the bat. It's been a while. And in the last video, I gave y'all a warning. A very specific warning that you don't want to be the person that gets trapped shorting at critical levels. I specifically said that. Now, why did this massive move right here happen? Well, it's very simple. I'm going to explain like the psychology of what's going on here. If we take a look at what happened on Friday, the market was looking like this. All right, it was chopping in here. Nobody was winning until like the afternoon on Friday, where it started breaking down below $360. Ideally, this is a bearish pennant, and usually it falls massively and it collapses all the way down to like to 350 and maybe even lower, right? So that was my thinking, and that was, I'm sure, the thinking of a lot of the bears who were looking at that chart on that specific day. But this morning, when this started happening right over here, as you can see, like the massive momentum pre-market was making these individuals right here, not just the shorts who shorted on Friday, but also the shorts who were shorting in like overnight. Again, futures traders can also go short, right? So these individuals were getting really nervous. And as somebody who likes to short stocks, when this thing, like when the price tend to get above that specific level, just that line right below the price where it started breaking down, that's where I would usually get out. This is where I would admit that I was wrong, right? And immediately take a small loss and change my perspective on the overall market. So that's pretty much what was happening over here. And the price where the trap will be like officially sealed would have been 36.50, and that occurred at 9 o'clock. And as soon as that level broke through, again, that causes a lot of fear and panic into the hearts of the shorts, and a lot of shorts starts to cover their position, which leads to the all-day grinder, which happened today, right? And it's not done yet. The move to 3,800 is inevitable. So there's still more people who need to cover more. So watch the overall market for a move in that specific circle. I think it's gonna happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then it should happen by Wednesday morning, before we start experiencing some type of turbulence. All right, so that's for the SPY. Now let's address the VIX. Now with the VIX, I gave y'all two specific scenarios on how things could play out with it, because it was at a very critical level, but it wasn't having that there was something missing about it. There was, again, you can't look at the bottom of the volume because it's not there, right? With VIX, you can look at VXX, but with VIX there is no volume at the bottom. So it was very tricky. And scenario number one would be either we break right through and we go all the way up to 36, right? That is if that bearish pennant that I showed y'all with the SPY would have played out today and the market would have collapsed. All right. But since it didn't, it's taking pathway number two, where it pulls back and is going to drag its feet. I don't know exactly how long it's gonna drag its feet. It could be 2 to 3 days. It could be all week, right? It could just stay all the way down here and go all the way down to 27, and on like past the 14, maybe even the 19th of October before we start seeing another potential drop. All right, so these are scenarios that I have in the back of my mind for how the VIX could play out and ultimately how the overall market could play out. All right, so now let's talk about the first stock. The first stock that all of you should be keeping in your watch list for this week. That stock is McDonald's. All right. Now, with McDonald's, long term investors love this stock. It's a very strong stock, a reputable company, right? And as you can see, it's on a major dip, on a major drop. And every time these types of drops happen, like over here, it gets bought right back up. And again, right here, and again right here, and we're experiencing something similar right now, right? And why did this drop happen? Well, that's very simple. If we zoom into the 4 hour, there's a bearish pennant. Well, there's a descending triangle on the chart right here, which broke down with a lot of other stocks. Again, if you've been following the channel, I've been giving you a lot of stocks to watch for a potential short, right? So everything has been falling. And right now, this is the moment where I tell you again, if you are still short on the market, if you are shorting McDonald's, I will tell you that right now is not the time to be shorting. This is actually the time to be like taking your money off the table. Again, somebody could argue that we could get another bottom, and it could happen. The market could be that generous and offer shorts another chance to get out before running. All right. But either way, eventually it's going to bounce back and it's going to get all the way up to at least $240 at some point this week. Also, if you look at the if you look at the daily chart, there is a very clean morning star on here. This is the morning star, and what usually happens after that formation is another candle that looks like this. All right, how long is it going to be? It really depends on the ferocity of how many buyers are buying into the market. All right, so watch out for that. That's the first stock. Now the second stock that I want you to be keeping in your watch list, that stock is Roku. All right, now for Roku, again, this is one of the stocks that I've mentioned, I believe last week. I told you to watch it for a shorts all the way down to exactly $55. It got to $55 on Thursday. Yeah, it was very slow, and I'm sure a lot of y'all were very annoyed about that, right? But eventually, it got to 55, provided one chance to get out, and then today, it did another chance. It provided another chance to get out on Friday, and then again today, within the first 10 minutes of market hours. And right now, things are rebounding. And I think that is going to go up a little bit further and test this level right over here. All right. Depending on how slow it goes, it could go up to 63.50, or if it's really slow, you can go all the way up to like 64.50, right? And if there's something drastic that happens with the market and that level gets breached, a lot of shorts are going to panic and there's going to be a lot of buying into the stock. How high could it go? Well, we'll see later on. All right. But the first level that y'all should be keeping, the first level that y'all should be on the lookout for is the test of that line right over here. All right. Now, the last stock that I want y'all to be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow, that stock is Bank of America. All right. Now, Bank of America, again, this one, I'm gonna use this one to to show you exactly why the double bottom on McDonald's could actually happen, right? So you see Bank of America, it got a bearish pendant on there, which collapsed gracefully, right, with the overall market, like within the last 2 weeks, and then right now McDonald's is right here. There's multiple ways that McDonald's could play out, and I told y'all that hey, somebody could argue that it could be a double bottom and giving a second chance for shorts to get out, right? So this right there could happen for McDonald's. It already happened for Bank of America. The market is not that generous. Again, we got one chance to get out right here. We got another chance to get out. We got a third chance to get out. If it opens up higher, these individuals who are still shorting over here, right, who went in aggressively, they're going to get scared. They're going to panic. They're going to cover their positions. And when that happens, Bank of America is going to spike and go all the way up to $32, maybe even 32.50. All right. So keep Bank of America on your watch list for tomorrow as well. Now, a brief update on one stock that I've mentioned in the past. Let's look at Plug. Now with Plug, again, it kind of sort of dropped. It didn't have the drop that I told y'all it would. It kind of sort of dropped. Again, I released that video right here at around like $23. I told y'all to watch it for a drop all the way down in between these two levels, right? But it only got to $20.40. This is the part where it starts wasting a lot of people's time, right? It was wasting people's time here, but it's going to do it again. And we could see it move all the way up here, like all the way back up to $24, and then eventually that gap is gonna get filled, right? But when is the most important question. And when the time comes, if it looks decent, like it's about to do so, like within the next 24 to 48 hours, I might make a video on it in the future. Again, I don't know exactly when it's gonna happen. That's why I say keep it on your watches. All right, so that is pretty much my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot. It allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can see all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at NGumah and at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, there are some basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to have all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.